How's it going? Welcome back to Clay Allen Raw. This is another episode of One Question, One Answer. And in this series, I present one question and then I answer it. And you get the opportunity to leave your answer in the comments below. So for today's question, for me, I have this thing that I always do. And when people ask me how I'm doing, I don't necessarily just say I'm fine. I have a tendency to say I'm alive. So that has multiple meanings, I guess, for me. But the main meaning for me is I feels like, and I could just be alone, it feels like we're never truly okay. There's always something going on, some sort of turmoil, some sort of problem. And when I say I'm alive, I don't mean it in a way that's like, well, I'm alive. I mean it in basically just how it sounds. I'm alive. Things could be worse, but they're not. Things could be better, but they're not. Am I getting by? Yeah, I'm living. So when I'm asked with the, presented with the question, when you say I'm fine, what do I really mean? That's basically it. There's never there's never 100% in this game to me. Like there's always going to be something that's going on, and that doesn't have to mean that it's a rough thing or a bad thing. It just means that things aren't always perfect. Things aren't always going to be all hunky-dory. Sometimes you're going to go through rough times. You're going to go through sad times. You're going to go through financial problems. You're going to go through health problems. There's almost always something. And I think that it's important to acknowledge the fact that we're alive. If somebody asks me how I'm doing, I'm alive. I'm living day by day, doing the best I can to keep things afloat. And when I say keep things afloat, I mean my mental stability or my mental health, my finances, relationship stuff, your victories and your failures. I'm keeping it afloat. Everything is just kind of at a balance. There's always going to be that idea that, yeah, I would like things to be better, or yes, I would like whatever it is. You won't get whatever it is that you would want to be better. It's not going to happen if you don't push for it. And sometimes it doesn't mean what you think it means. Sometimes being happier or being relieved of some sort of stress comes in different ways. So just I feel like it's important to pay attention to those things and pay attention to how relief comes to you and how things present themselves. It could always be worse. That's pretty much it. That's how I feel when I'm fine. When I say I'm fine, I'm alive. So now the question is, why do we say these things this way? Why do we say I'm fine or I'm alive? Well, because it's safe. It's easier and sometimes simpler to not indicate that anything is really wrong, because if I was to say everything, something was wrong, then I might have to explain myself, and you might not be prepared to explain yourself. So saying I'm fine or I'm alive could mean a few things. I don't want to burden you with whatever my problems might be, or I don't really think you'd understand, so I'm going to say it to protect you from having to figure it out. Or you could just be some part of you inside just doesn't want to feel weak, so you don't want to expose that weakness. So as much as I preach or talk about being honest and being authentic, there is a balance between being authentic and being real and oversharing or giving too much information. Sometimes we confuse honesty with just dumping everything all at once. But honesty can be quiet. It could be just not pretending, not trying to be anything that we're not. So what happens when you finally speak honestly? Well, for one, there's a relief in saying, actually, I've been struggling, and then going into what you've been struggling about. So like when you do that, there's this shift in connection when you really allow somebody to see you, like to see who you are or what's going on with you. And sometimes that vulnerability can invite depth, not just pity. So sometimes just simply saying I'm fine, or in my case, I'm alive, this could be accepting both the pain and the peace. So sometimes we don't necessarily have to be fine. We just need to be real enough to admit that we're human. So maybe next time someone asks you how you're doing, and a phrase like I'm alive or I'm fine is just sitting right on the tip of your tongue, pause for a second, take a breath, and if you can, tell the truth, even if it's just a small truth. Because sometimes I'm alive is enough. Sometimes I'm struggling is enough. Or sometimes I'm figuring it out is just enough. And maybe fine or I'm fine isn't the goal anymore. Maybe being honest is the goal. Because I kind of feel sometimes like I'm fine closes the door. Whereas being honest about your feelings and letting someone who's taking the time to ask you how you're doing, letting them know the truth opens a door. And it's possible that that could be a door that you've needed to walk through this whole time. So that was this episode's One Question, One Answer. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see some comments down below and how you might reflect on this, what goes through your mind when you think about some of these things, some of these questions that I ask on this series. So if you got anything out of it, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And until the next one, I will see you.